Hello friends, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another week of reading. We are going to have another weekly reading vlog situation, but for this week it's going to be kind of a chill one actually. So the first and the second week of December, I have put up 2 reading vlogs with sort of challenge to myself in order to knock out a few from my 2024 TBR list. And this week, it's kind of a bit overwhelming because there's a lot of stuff going on. Today is Monday actually. I was supposed to film this intro last Saturday, but Saturday was kind of busy, so I moved it to Sunday, and then Sunday I went out with my best friend unexpectedly for like Christmas shopping and also my aunt's. So I wasn't able to jumpstart this video 2 days ago, so we're going to film the intro today. But I did happen to already start reading some of the books that I wanted as the TBR for this video for this week. So I'm just going to talk about the books that we're going to read this week, and then we're going to have like cozy and chaos vibes as always, filming different clips of every day of this week, hopefully if there is anything interesting to do. So the first I'm thinking of going for like maybe 3 or 4 books this week, 3 books and 1 audiobook hopefully. The first one being was it Suzanne or Suzanne Clark? Piranesi. Hold on a second. So the first book in our TBR for this week is Piranesi by Susanna Clark. This has been in my one of the books that I have wanted to read in this lifetime list that I did for my reading journal, and I can see it as a very short book, 272 pages, and I started it like the first intro pages wherein Piranesi is going through this house or like hallway or something, and he's like writing this journal about the stuff that happens inside this house or building or whatever this is, and there are a lot of statues, and that's as much info as I could get from the book so far that I have read. I heard that this was a very strange but also good book to read, and it's probably more or less worth the hype. So I really wanted to get right into this. However, previously I did not have the mindset yet or the focus to read this because it is kind of weird. So I am aiming to finish this book this week. The second book on our TBR is going to be The Fragile Threads of Power by V. Schwab. One of my favorite book series of 2024 that I've read is A Dark Crochet and Magic, and this is like the continuation, second series of that same world. And we are still following some of the characters from the previous series and then some new ones. And so far, I am at like the second like major divide of the book, I guess, like first few hundred pages, and I'm already like struggling because I really want to love this book, but somehow my system, like my brain, is not liking what it's reading. So I've been in and out of that book, but hopefully this week I'm able to finish it. The third one in our TBR is going to be The Library of Souls, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, number 3 by Ransom Riggs. And I started the audiobook for this because I found an audiobook, and so far so good. I'm enjoying it. I wanted to have an audiobook wherein I could sleep to actually like listen to it before I go to sleep or do some of my crochet projects. I am thinking about, since it's busy, I don't know if I'm going to start my crochet project or if I'm going to continue my diamond painting this week, because I really want to do something cozy this week because my brain is like so overstimulated, I guess, and I just wanted a cozy something to do, hobby, brainless, that I could listen an audiobook for and then do my craft. And then so we have already 2 books and 1 audiobook. So the last one, the fourth one that I'm planning on is actually I'm stuck between the 2. It's either The Familiar by Lee Bardugo or the 3rd book in the Trials of Apollo series by Rick Riordan, which is The Burning Maze. I have started 3 pages of The Burning Maze and I could not really get through it. The Burning Maze, I made it through 3 pages, but somehow I couldn't get right into the story. I'm not sure why, but I really want to finish the Trials of Apollo series because in my brain, I technically could start or like read The Sun and the Star, which is the Nico D'Angelo story, but there are spoilers in the book for the Trials of Apollo ending, and I kind of want to like read it in chronological order as much as I can with all of the Rick Riordan books. So I am stuck between the two of those. However, I might end up just choosing The Burning Maze because I did read The Familiar for my November TBR, started it, got around to 5 chapters, and I am so close to DNFing it because I don't really feel like I like it. So not sure really. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. But I am starting with Piranesi and then listening to the audiobook of The Library of Souls. So I'm going to update you guys once I finish with Piranesi and see how I like it. Because so far it's strange, but at least I'm reading it. At least I'm not slumping. Because I feel like I might end up slumping because last week's video for you guys, which is like last week for me as well, is the last book that I've read. The Will of the Many is like one of my favorite books now of 2024. So like that's a hard fence to go over, or like what's the saying? But yeah, I'm going to start with Piranesi. I'm going to update you guys if there's anything, reactions, whatever. But if there's none, then I'm going to go straight to the update, and I'm going to include like clips from the week, whatever it is that I find interesting. Hope you enjoy. Hello there. It has been quite a bit since I've updated. It is actually Friday today, 5 p.m. I just got off of work, and I'm here to update you guys on how the week has been of me not filming anything, I believe. I have been super busy and have not actually been reading that much. So as far as this reading vlog goes, I have finished one book, and that is Piranesi by Susanna Clark. And I don't recall what I finished it last night, Thursday. So how much did I give it? I actually forgot. Was it a 3 something? Nope. I have not finished updating this reading journal as well. I think I gave it like 3.5 or 4 stars. So probably 4 stars because I actually enjoyed this. Like, it was quite a struggle to get right into, but it was worth it, I guess. It was worth having to like put the missing puzzle pieces together and having to rely on this main character narrator of yours, on like him reading his journal entries about this strange world with lots of halls, and it's supposed to be like the labyrinth, like the Greek mythology labyrinth. And I don't know why, but when I started reading this book, it actually reminded me of House of Leaves, and like the house wherein if you went through this hall, it's like a vast, I don't know what it is, but this is more of like Greek mythology, but also like very psychological horror in a way, and I actually enjoyed it. I will not talk too much about it because I think that if I say anything more, it will spoil the surprise, spoil the plot of it, and how you discover who Piranesi is. What is this like weird house, he calls it, like what this house is, who is he, what is his relationship with the people or the person that he is with in this house, and it's actually really good. So 4 stars for Piranesi. And I'm actually, like, as you can see here, there is like a star rating already for Library of Souls. I'm going to add more to that because things like this is a pre-written what do you call this, rating. Like, this book to me is at least a 3 star, but it could go up as the story progresses. And I'm actually like an hour left of the audiobook for Library of Souls. I'm going to finish it later and hopefully do like read a little bit more of the 3rd book, which was supposed to be Fragile Threads of Power. For this, I have been putting off that book as well as The Burning Maze by Rick Riordan for some reason. And to me, as this week has been super busy, this like realistic reading pace for me to have like a 270 something book be finished in like a week's time. It's like super short, but I just couldn't find the time to read. So I am glad that Library of Souls, I have found an audiobook of it, and while I am crocheting a project, I am listening to this audiobook. So after filming this clip, I'm just going to continue with my project and then finish the last hour of Library of Souls, which so far so good. Like, I could already tell that it's more than a 3-star for me. I'm super close to the ending. It's super action-packed, I guess, but there is still 1 hour left into the audiobook, and I'm so confused why that is, because I think the action already happened. So what is there more in the end? So I'm just kind of either super confused but also quite scared. So I'm going to listen to the last hour of that while continuing with what I've been doing actually here. This is supposed to be like another of this desk mask situation. Like, I made this couple months ago with mercerized cotton by Canon, the Canon brand, mercerized cotton yarn with like the simple granny square join as you go with like different patterns. I made this color scheme because of this particular yarn, which I had since I started crocheting, did not use it, and I decided to pull colors from this and then make a desk mat for filming purposes. And this to me is okay when it's like cold, wintry, rainy situation, and I was thinking like come spring or maybe even autumn season, I want my setup to be like relevant to the season that we are in, even though I'm living in the Philippines and there's no 4 seasons, there's only 2, which is hot and rainy. So to me, I just want to have that vibe of like having 4 seasons. So this one is more of spring for me. Like, this is like breeze, like very animo if you're Genshin Impact. Very spring to me, of the blue and the green. And I wanted to do one for, I don't know if I'm going to make it like 2 types of spring, because I'm not really into summer. I'm sorry if you love summer, but I'm not really into like the hot weather. I really hate hot weather, and I really hate sweating. So I'm thinking of making like this be like spring number 1. Spring number 2 will be like pinks and like peach, something of that color scheme. And then I might make a winter one maybe next year with more of like muted colors. I will pull more like crystal blue or white or like navy blue maybe. That's for my winter next year. I'm like writing this down for like future projects. And then for my current project, which is actually autumn, I was thinking of making like fall leaves situation, but I came across this granny square stitch wherein it's called fleur, F-L-E-U-R, like a flower, I guess, granny stitch. And I wanted to make it like gingham pattern, like gingham picnic pattern, I guess. And I chose 3 colors, and it's this maroon. I'm sorry, the light is going out because it's already 5 p.m. It's sunset. So I have a maroon, yellow, and also like this light brown gold-ish color. And when I looked at this, it was like super cute, and I just wanted to use these 3 cakes, I guess it's cake or rolls of yarn. This is also mercerized cotton, but the Monaco 8-ply, and this yarn with this it's not super intricate actually of a pattern. This pattern I see used in like cardigans or like sweaters, like light flowy sweaters, and I was super pleased with how it looked in like lighter, softer yarn. However, when I really need to turn on the lights. Alright, this will have to do. I really don't like filming with a light source that is not the sun, I guess, because I don't like how it looks on camera, but this will have to do for filming during the evening. But yeah, I was making this and it was like such a pain to do. The yarn was super rigid actually, that it's not really comfortable to crochet like multiple double crochets in one place, and I have been struggling. Like the yellow one was fine because this is like soft. This is the best out of all of them. This was super hard to crochet with, especially with a 2.5 millimeter crochet hook. But how I do this is that I start making the flower shape. I start making the flower shape just up to the point wherein I have to join the square to the rest of it. So I am thinking this is actually fine to use just 3, because I actually use one, I don't know what to call this, if it's a cake or not, of each for the first one. But granted that this is a smaller, thinner yarn. I think it was like 3 ply. I can't really remember, but this is a smaller yarn, so it's like it's softer. It's like, it's super soft, it's super soft, super light, and this one is super bulky. So this will go by faster, I guess. As you can see here, I made this like 13 by 10, 13 across, 10 below, and this is like 4 by 7. Yeah, 4 by 7 as of the moment, and I'm already here, up to here. So I might be able to scooch it a little bit just so that it could be in frame, and I might end up cheesing it with just this is 8. I'm 4. I might cheese it to 9. So it's going to be 9 by 7. So I think this will be enough. Granted that we'll see if this goes by super quick, because it's present in both rows, or like columns rather. It's present in both columns. So this is going to be like the most dominant color of them all, and I don't know if this was a good idea to choose such contrasting, or if I should have chosen an orange instead of a maroon. I don't know, but it's fine so far for me, at least. I like it. I love like wine red and maroon as a color, so that's why I included like this very berry-ish wine red, and in person it's actually fine. So I'm going to continue with this. Hopefully by the end of next week I might end up finishing it, not sure, but I will listen to the audiobook while I do this, while I continue another row or a column. I just tell myself to just finish 1 column a day and call it quits, because I might hurt my hand again crocheting with super rigid yarn. So that is the project, that is the audiobook, and I'm going to update once I finish Library of Souls or whatever else I get into tonight, and finish this vlog off tomorrow. Hello, good morning. I have an update for you guys. Last night, I actually finished the Library of Souls by Ransom Riggs, the 3rd book in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. And that ending, my god, that ending. Like, I don't know if I expected it as much, but I did not expect it to be that. I don't have a reaction. So far, I actually gave it a 3.5 stars. Like, that was as much, like, even with the action and with all of the plot twists that happened in the book, I just wasn't like, it wasn't super wow for me, especially like that ending. But it was a good ending, I guess. But it was not just like, it wasn't really my favorite. So I'm still going to read Map of Days, and then the last book. Is it the last book? I'm not sure. But there are 2 more books to the series that I am going to continue on, maybe 2025, because I'm just like very close to the end of the year, and I don't think I'm able to finish another of the books if I want to complete some of the other books that I wanted to complete in December. So I did not end up reading any more of like Fragile Thread of Power or The Burning Maze for this week's vlog. Sadly, only 2 books this week. A very short but also very good book, Piranesi, and a so-so for me, at least. It's a good but so-so book for me, Library of Souls. So I guess it is kind of successful in a way as well, because it has been busy this week. So 2 books completed in a week that it's like I couldn't even sit down to really read much is okay. And I also am able to progress with this gingham crochet. Actually, if I do it like this, it could already cover the whole table. But yeah, it could actually already hold. Like I was so concerned last night because I presented it this way, like elongated way. So I still have so much to do here to the side. But since I decided to make it like that way, it could actually cover the whole length of the, what do you call this, the frame. However, if I push up, in case, like, as you can see, it's like, you can see the white of my table, and I wanted to cover the white of my table in case I need to show something big. And what ended up happening is that I could technically make it wider but not taller, because I want the gingham pattern to be consistent. Like if I started with this light brown and yellow, I wanted to end it with a light brown and yellow. So I believe I could not make 7 more from the light brown ones, because this is super dangerous amounts of yarn, and I don't want to repurchase any. So I still have this much of the other 2 colors, and I just want to use it up because I don't really want to use this type of yarn anymore for other projects, because I don't really like how it feels when I crochet it. It's like very heavy, I guess, and it fights with me whenever I pull up the yarn. Super thick mercerized cotton. And what I wanted to do with the edging is that instead of doing the flower granny square, I decided to just make a simple granny square to border. To make all of my border color will be this wine red, and I wanted to start it with like the corners first in case I don't have enough, so that I could substitute the yellow for it, like red here to the other side, and then I will alternate with red and yellow here in case I run out of, or like I am super low with this one. And then I think I can make 4, at least 4 or at most 4 granny squares if I'm being super tight with it. 4 regular granny squares with this one for the corner, and the corner here, the bottom. So that is the plan for this. Like the gingham pattern is okay now, like you can tell that it is a gingham pattern, but I guess, what do you call this, it's not the best yarn for it, and I'm already planning on the next one, like my spring. What do I want to make for the spring, what do you call this, tablecloth, table mat situation for our filming setup. And I realized when I said yesterday that this is like the spring sort of fresh animo color that I mentioned in the previous clip, I realized this is the closest one that I could get to be a summer color, if I'm being honest, because this is seafoam green, and like very oceany colors, I guess. So this is going to be my summer mat. I'm still planning on the spring mat. This is the autumn one, and for the winter mat, I already have the yarn for. I only don't have the yarn for the spring one because I technically want to do it like pink, white, and like cherry blossoms, but also a little part of me is like I could shop my stash technically and see if I have something there, but most of them are like maybe purples, or like one skein of purple and another skein of like what do you call this, turquoise, and I have ideas for those. So I probably am going to like check my stash before purchasing any. Least to say is that I won't be repurchasing this sort of yarn for any of my future project, because now as I'm doing this compared to this one, this is very heavy and it's not even complete. So yeah, that is it for this week. Kind of chaotic as always, and kind of sad with only 2 books completed this week, but it is still a reading vlog nonetheless, and I'm still happy that I have finished 2 books this week. And so that is it for me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this week. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you look forward to next week, the last reading vlog for this. 4 reading vlogs for the month of December situation that I have in exchange for Vlogmas, and I'll see you then. Thank you so much again, and I will see you in the next video. So until then, guys, take care and